anything, and are black men able to lead? Okay, we already have that stereotype. So back to Trucker's original thing he was getting at, point he was getting at is, let's talk about being resolution oriented. How can I say? Something I'm teaching my son right now. Caden, as long as you identify the good guy and a bad guy in a situation, the situation is not going to be resolved. We have to solve the situation. So how can we be, what can we do to build a legacy? Not, just saying something stupid. Not Joe and Bobby. Well, Bobby did this and Joe did that. Okay. And then you did this the day before Bobby. And then, well, you did that the day before Joe. Now, what's the resolution to it? Now, something that I wrote, and I'm actually writing a book, and this is something I'm looking at it right now. You can't control happy people, because with happiness comes pride. And when we are proud, we won't budge. But you can control unhappy people, because unhappiness causes us to be lost and easily manipulated.
That's true.
So see, so if you a lot of times we want to fast. I'm guilty of it. My first business went under because I went too fast, and this is just something, my notes I want to pass to my children to know. Hey, there's always a way to keep a positive mindset, and 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 I give all glory to the man above, and you know it's we got how can I say, I've been all around the world. I did 13 and a half years in the military. One of the countries that poked out to
I knew it.
is a country right above Somalia. And if you believe in, if you walk the Christian walk, they don't permit that in their country. But one thing I noticed, especially in my last one was in Burma, the longest ongoing civil war in the world, 80 years. Everybody going through hell is resolution oriented.
I can't stand them big head ass Somalis.
So
Hey, I appreciate what you said, and especially about the happiness part,
Yeah,
because
them
I
good
think
stuff
that's
there,
where
man.
us as a community,
That's
if we get back to the happiness and all without all this bickering and arguing,
hmm.
we could be a powerful community because we'll have pride. It's like we having pride right now with no real achievement. We being laughed at around here. I don't see nothing to be proudful about in a lot of these areas, the poverty stricken neighborhoods. We don't even own our communities. We are renters more than we are buyers. And we're like owners. Why? We don't own majority of nothing. Yes, we can start a business, but the brick and mortar part of it, we go to the YT for our stuff. And I'm big on that. Like, we gotta cut that out. I'm big on that.
Houses.
if
But hold,
if we
hold on,
come,
504. Let somebody else get in here.
Tiger.
Go ahead, Tiger.
Hey, I just want to say something real quick. But I was a little confused about the prompt, about the legacy and what have black men ever created, and can we lead? And so, I mean, of course, y'all, everybody know about, inventions, and we have created a lot. We created genres of music. I mean, are y'all going that broad, or are you just talking about surface level type stuff?
Whatever you feel a legacy is, that gonna make our community better.
All right, all right. So, one thing that I do, and I feel real, you know, let's say you can't create a business to pass down generational or get land. I got a business, I got land. The smallest thing that we can do as a community is something simple as life insurance. A lot of people are scared to get life insurance. Leave them kids some kind of revenue later on, or land. I don't know, but to say that black men haven't created anything, I don't know. That's a little too broad for me.
Well, you narrowed it down. But understand, you can leave your kids life insurance. They can see the money, but if they don't have no guidance, then what the hell they gonna do? They ain't gonna do
Exactly,
nothing but run through it
exactly.
and blow it. So where's the legacy that been left? Did
Well,
you
I got,
like hold on? I seen a video today, right? And it was of a black woman. She say we send our kids to school to learn math and stuff like this, but she say they send their kids to school to learn how to manage trust funds, how to manage businesses, how to manage all this stuff. I don't know if I say the video, but if I did, I would love to play it. I gotta look through my Facebook messages. That's what's making me. That's what made me ask this question: what is the legacy?
All right,
Because
so
what are you
legacy,
leaving behind? These people are they've been keeping shit going for over 50 years now. And they got they foot on our necks because guess what? They built shit that we rely on. We have to go to them. We're the consumer. The black dollar is the most powerful dollar in America right now. In America, probably the fucking world. And I guarantee you this. How the hell is that helping our community? How the hell is that building our legacy when our dollar go to somebody else?
All right,
That's what the hell I'm talking about.
Check this out. So I have 3 boys, 21, 15, and 13. And maybe almost 3 years ago, I bought all my boys a vending machine. And I started out there. Now, at the present time, they still have their vending machines. I taught them how to restock it. Don't, just because you got money out the vending machine, you got to reinvest. I'm trying to teach them everything, starting a business. I didn't have this growing up. And at present time, everyone, all 3 of my boys, they have, I bought on the 33 acres that I have, each one of them have two trailers that that is under their name, and that's their thing. And so I'm trying to teach them business. I teach them finance. I used to teach them credit and all that stuff I didn't have growing up. So that's my legacy.
Where you live at, Tiger?
See, but when you first spoke, you didn't speak about I bought the vending machine. You got to teach them profit loss cost wise, repair cost wise. See, that's the legacy, like what we have to pass on. Like, for real. Y'all
they
afraid
was like 13.
but hold on. As a black man, it's like, why are we afraid to speak on how we educating our kids and stuff like this? Because, maybe that idea right there, somebody else will pick up on. Right now, I'm teaching mine about the stocks. I'm teaching mine how to invest. When you make your money, put it here, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to talk to your kids.
Going out there thinking fashion and Jordans and all this stuff is life.
Yeah, but you got to talk to them on their level. You can't, the 12, 13-year-old kid don't know nothing about stock and all that stuff.
That's why you have to teach them. Everything is a lesson you learn. Your kids ain't know nothing about vending machines.
But we ain't knocking them.
You tell me that's a difference. You see what I mean? Y'all compare apples to oranges, but you telling me they don't correlate? Like,
he's 5 steps ahead of the average father, though. Who not? If he don't already put a business in his teenager's hands, he's already in the right direction. Versus somebody who just be on here talking. You feel what I'm saying? Like, people get up here just talking about this, that, and the third, and they haven't made any moves. They have nothing to pass on.
And that's a hurt. That's a hurt to the legacy. But see, one thing about it, it's always a way to correct somebody. We hear 504 and what he said, a black man don't have no legacy. So we already know he may not be passing nothing on to his kids. Okay, fine and dandy. We can see that.
Man, nigga, you know how many vending machines it's gonna take for us to catch up?
It's a start, brother. It's a start.
Like I said,
Listen. When we talk about legacy, we talking about the foundation of America. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about the foundation of our community, bro.
Of our people, bro. Like what he talking about. I got what you're saying. I'm 40 years old. I grew up.
Our people equals America.
It starts with everything starts with one. When it comes to numbers,
you have to be part of the solution, not the problem. If you're a person that
you got to identify the problem first before you get a solution.
Yeah, but you can't talk about.
Hold on. Let me give you the problem. The problem is poverty.
You can't talk about a problem unless you got a solution.
Hold up. You asked for a problem, I'm giving it to you. If we ain't got nothing, we don't own nothing, it's poverty right now. We're always gonna be in servitude to the next to pay them for what they got. Like, we have to pay for the roofs over our head, we gotta pay for the water, we gotta pay for the lights, we gotta pay for the air we breathe because we want AC. So straight up and down, we living in poverty. So how you come out of poverty? What's the solution?
Education.
What's the legacy? What are you building? You got to understand where we coming from. Yeah, they talking about you part of the problem because you only can give a negative solution to what's going on.
Now
You
the
only
solution is
giving
still gonna be the solution, my nigga.
negativity. Where is the solution? You talking about it gonna be man? If I got 100 vending machines and them 100 vending machines pulling in $1,000 a week off them vending machines, you do the math. You changing your legacy. How many vending machines do you need?
I got
Because
what
I
you're
know
trying
a
to say.
guy. I know
For
a guy
your
made
family
bank.
or
He
for
had
your
his in
community?
warehouses.
For your family
It's,
I was
or for
gonna
your
say, is
community?
do you think the solution
it's
is capitalism? Because that can't be the solution. Because there are plenty of rich people, black people,
that, that-
that have been
that's
throughout
not it.
society, and we're still in the same situation.
How
Money
do
and
black people
capitalism.
become rich? How does the majority of black people become
Nah,
rich? They
they
play
up.
sports. You can't pass down sports. I'm sorry.
To me,
You cannot pass
That
down
is not
sports.
how the
to
majority
me,
of black
legacy.
You cannot pass that down. You can pass down the money, but you cannot pass down sports.
To me,
But you
legacy
pass
is
down.
more.
That's
To
fine.
me,
That's
is
what I'm
legacy
saying.
is
But that's what
more.
I'm
It's
exactly.
more. Yeah, legacy to me is more of teaching them like a mental foundation versus
right.
financial.
Okay.
I don't
There you
know.
go. There you
Also,
go.
I just want to say
you
you
pass
you
down
can
your
definitely
influence
pass
to the
down
people.
sports. Joe Jellybean Bryant is Kobe Bryant's dad. He played in the NBA. Kobe turned around and played in the NBA.
But
Dale
that's
Curry. Dale Curry is another person who was able to pass his athletic prowess down to both of his sons and put both of
Michael
his
Jordan
sons
was
into
the
the
best
NBA.
basketball player.
Yeah, he
Michael
was.
Jordan
He
was
was.
the best basketball player in
Who they
most people's
played
eyes.
for?
He didn't pass that shit down to his sons. His sons was
No,
trash.
hey, you're right. You're right.
LeBron,
He did not pass it down to his
that's it.
sons,
Pass down
Listen,
genetics.
but
but
I
he
get
did.
hold
He
on.
did
But
pass it to a million.
his businesses have been passed down. I
Yep.
prefer Michael Jordan's legacy of his business compared to them sports.
Well,
Because if
that's
your son flop out of sports,
Right, but
guess
that
what? He
but
has nothing
that
left
came
if
from
your
the
money was
sport.
used.
But
yeah.
Michael
Thank
Jordan
you.
ain't
Thank
passed
you.
down the
That
motherfucking thing though.
yes, he
No,
does.
his sons
He
work
has.
and his daughters work for the
Nah,
business.
okay, look.
But
In the
look,
shoe business.
his athletic business has also afforded him to be able to build 4 different free hospitals for low income housing and people that don't have insurance. He's also made over 100 other black males millionaires. You don't have another person that's been able to do that, white or black.
When you
Michael
talk about
Jordan
free
has a
health,
legacy.
when you talk about free healthcare clinics, can you please understand what that means?
Yeah,
You
look
getting a
at
tax
Dion.
break some
Please,
type
let's
of
not
way.
shift there.
You getting a tax break some type of way because Jordan ain't never did shit for the
And
black.
Dion,
Why is he? I understand that, but he just opened up a free clinic for people. Why is he not
That's
allowed
all
to
I think
profit?
y'all
Why is
understand
that
about
not?
business. Free.
No,
Free.
I understand. No, yeah, it's free to the public, so he's getting government money.
Okay,
Why is
then.
he not allowed to do that?
I ain't saying he not allowed to do that, but don't make it seem like he's doing such a wild thing. But everybody knows what
It
that's
is. It
tied
is
into.
wild because nobody else is doing it.
And that's part of the problem right
They
there.
don't
See, y'all
publicize
not,
it.
let me tell y'all something. Black men, y'all are very hypocritical of other black men. If a black man doing something positive, you always gonna find a lot of other black men that come in and shit on him. Like it's not nothing.
No,
That man didn't have to build
men
those
don't do
free
that.
clinics. He
So
could have put that
didn't
money,
it?
he could have put that money where he wanted to.
Could
See,
have
where
kept
It
y'all-
to
doesn't matter if it's a tax write-off.
Yeah, some
Could
black
have
men.
kept to himself and did nothing for nobody.
You say
See,
some
where
black
y'all-
men.
But
not black men.
instead, y'all would rather give y'all money to the government and let people like Brett Favre steal it.
T. Williams, you remember the free clinic in New Orleans, right?
No, I ain't never been in no free clinic. But I know, I know about free clinics. Yeah, I know.
All right, but they've been around since before ages, and at the same time, you never know who owned it, but it was a free clinic.
But you do now.
So when Jordan got that free clinic, them 4 free clinics, and at the same time, can we please research everybody who's up in there, everybody who's into the cahoots with them free clinics? Let's research that first because they just putting Jordan name on it, but he might be like a 25% owner or whatever.
Hey, look, and I love when people say that because you can easily look these things up. If you look up anything that man does, he doesn't do it like that. He owns all of it, or he turns around and sells it. Or so when he does turn around and sells it, he can recoup it. The only thing he didn't own all of was the Bobcats, and even then, he was the majority owner.
Yeah, but will the black man ever create anything? That just threw me off.
I'm trying to tell you, even if you go throughout history, you're going to see that most of the stuff we did create, it was taken from us, and then they turn around and try to duplicate it and act like they're the ones that created it.
You know
This
what I
is
meant? Hold on. You know what
Right.
I want y'all to be clear about what I mean by create, because a lot of us does that right now. We talk about what was created in the past, in
Yes.
history. I'm talking about right now. We living right now.
I just
Y'all
hey,
like that.
LeBron,
Hold on. Let me
LeBron made
clarify
another school.
Let me clarify a little bit more. When they talk about what we had, they talk about the Silicon Village. They talk about Black Wall Street. They even talk about Rosewood, which maybe wasn't as glorified or whatever. We know the tragedy that happened there. We talk about all these places where Black people own and how they did it. We don't own the grocery stores no more. We don't own nothing. Like the other guy that was up here earlier, he was talking about how we need to change the eating and the food. How we gonna change any of that if we gotta go to the oppressor to get it? That's what I mean. Where's these legacies right now?
Or you know what a better question is? What did we not create?
It's not that. It's not. That's not what he's saying.
About in modern
Jesus,
times.
they
That's not
always
what he's saying.
try to
He's
get
talking
us
about-
in the question.
What I'm gonna say the problem is we don't shop with each other, because we did own grocery stores, but when they turned around and we let people like MLK tell us that we need to have integrate, we stopped shopping with each other.
Right.
But that's a loaded question.
That's what happened. Because we
Well,
don't unless
No,
unless you're talking about
black
dope,
grocery stores, in
clothes
every
or
major
food,
city.
we don't shop with each other. When you want to go get your hardware, you don't go hire that black contractor, which is messed up. Because even Dr. Umar Johnson did the same thing. He sat there and complained about his school not being built, and then turned around and hired white contractors.
On the radio station in Atlanta, they have this thing, like, I don't know if it's weekly or daily. They let the black community know what black companies are out there, black owned companies, and so I do try to do that anytime I can. I'd rather go there first.
The legacy starts where he's meaning, and I got what you mean in Trucker. It starts first with our mindset. And it's not, I got what Jordan did. I got what LeBron did and the others y'all stated. But when we start right now, the odds of us, well, I know my ass because I don't play sports, is, becoming on that level, and the odds of, our children being that person that's going to be picked up to be on Jordan's level or start playing basketball, however it go to get to that level, it happens, but look at the percentage. What he's getting at is the mindset. I chose like I teach my kids. Hey, well, it's easy to be negative about it. Now, how are we gonna fix this problem, son? We're gonna do it this way. Okay, no, we don't just do it this way. We do it this way because if we don't, this can happen and that can happen. It's like he was talking about business. You got your profit. You lost margin. You got your overhead. He's a trucker. Well, trucker finna know that I come up from a family full of truckers. You got with these trucks, everybody look, well, I can go get an 18-wheeler and I can make 30 G's a month. Yeah. Well, a brand new truck is 170. Even if you got 70 down, you're still gonna have a $2,500 note. You got empty. You got motor carrier insurance.
I gotta use big rig in the backyard for sale.
There you go. I mean, it's that dump trucks. And I'm in Southeast Texas right now. I'm originally from New Iberia, but I'm in Southeast Texas right here, and we got dump trucks running in and out the plant. But then you got well, son, I can do that, Daddy. But now you got to make sure you got to have good workers that's going to take care of your equipment. Son, sometimes the best workers are the men and women that got some like child support or something because they got to be more faithful because they got bills to pay. These are the attributes. Educate them on all the details, how to conduct business and how to maintain it. Hey, we got to invest contingency.
I agree with the mindset thing.
Goes
I
back to
agree
the
with the
question.
mindset.
You guys are
And-
talking
and-
about
and that's-
money. Why is money?
No, they were talking about
business,
money.
and obviously the point that they
Because money runs the
make
world, baby.
They were talking about how to build a legacy.
The factor.
If I
Yeah,
build,
you're talking about
if I
money.
build a legacy and I want
That
to leave a
legacy.
legacy, I
It's
still
not-
have to pass
yeah,
on the mindset to keep the
It's the
legacy
mindset.
going. It's a lot of businesses folding right now because the kids can't keep the business going because they don't have the mindset to keep the legacy going.
And the
That's
purpose
what
to
it is.
Okay, but why is
it was kind of
that's
hypothetical.
fine,
You
but
have
why are we
it was,
not talking about other things? We're talking about money. You're talking about money. You're
it was
not telling
metaphorical.
how
Okay.
go to school and
It's
go teach
metaphorical.
people how
Hold
to
on.
learn
It,
or go to
you still missed the
school and
point.
make
You
people
still, you
Well,
still,
help
you
you.
still, you
No,
still missed
you
the
can't
point.
really teach people how to
your
learn.
point. I did not miss your
That's
point. Your
favor.
point is the
Okay, so
mindset
what?
is
So what was my point?
Hold on, Texas,
I'm
let her
talking.
talk.
I'm talking. Your point, you correct me if I'm wrong. Your point is to build the mindset for positivity, to fix solutions or find a solution and then move forward. But the solution at its crux is money. And when has that been the case for us to be a better people?
I
Right.
just used that as one example because they were talking about money.
Okay, so then
He said both things in one, Phaedra. He started off with mindset, and then it kind of shifted to
And I gave an analogy.
a
I
money,
exactly said that was an analogy.
a financial mindset as well. I think he said both in one.
Yeah, I said an analogy. That's what it was. I gave that because they were already talking about business. It's you,
Because if you
use an
don't,
example,
if you
right?
don't, our
Yes, give an
community
example.
Yeah,
always
but
be
you're
Or
still.
the
So what you're
legacy for
saying
the mind.
is a financial. Well, that's what she's saying. You're still talking financials because you're the
because they were
analogy
already
you
talking
use.
financial. They've been talking about Jordan and
That's
LeBron
what,
for
and,
But
and
that's
we
what I'm
thought.
asking.
Listen,
That was my
Texas,
question.
we thought you were
That's
talking
my
about
question.
something different.
and
I agree with
Right.
you
My
when you
nobody
said
is
mindset, but I didn't know you were shifting it to straight financials, and I think that's what Phaedra's saying. Like everybody's
the
not
only
gonna
solution to build a legacy here is to make money.
right.
At the end of the day, that can't be
That's
It
it.
not
definitely
it.
can't be
Yeah,
it.
that is
You're
it.
not
For the
hearing me.
black
They were already
community.
No,
talking.
it cannot.
They
It
were already
cannot.
talking about LeBron and Michael Jordan and this and that and their money and all of that, and that's what they were already
no,
talking about.
I wasn't talking about their money. I was talking about how they use their business to actually build
There you go. And me,
structures
I'm
that you're
talking about the
talking
money.
about in our community.
and
Because
I
That
both
no education
And
LeBron
and
has
a
at the
lot
end
of
of the
money.
day, it's
LeBron has
money.
built schools, Jordan has built clinics, and made other people millionaires so that they could have financial literacy to pass on to their kids. So that's what I was talking about.
And why is that a legacy? Why is that the crux
Because
of a
hold on,
Because
legacy? Why is
when
it?
you
let me
do
hold
that,
on,
you
hold
don't
on.
have to turn
Let me
around and
tell her.
ask for money
Everybody
from
follows
others.
the money.
Hold on. Understand this. This is why this is a legacy. Because we're living in poverty. We don't own
Who is
nothing.
we?
The black community.
You
I'm not
too.
That's
speaking
not true.
individual. I'm not
That's
Everybody
speaking.
not
else
Don't
If
is.
hurt
you
true.
my
got,
point. Now y'all gotta stop painting a picture.
Time out. If you got an individualized mindset, then you should go talk to individualized visual mind people. But here, I want to have a group mindset of how to build up a community.
Who is the biggest receiver of food stamps and government assistance?
YT people. But what they gotta listen. See, that's the
Who the
problem.
second?
We go back to that.
Who the
So
It's
second?
like
that
going
disproves
back to the
his
blame game,
statement.
bro.
We can't be number one at everything.
Well, it disproves his statement right there.
no, it doesn't. Because you act like it's not people on welfare food stamps. You act like it's not people on Section 8 in our community. I'm
wish
talking about
everybody-
what we own. If we written from others, do we own?
A lot of us do.
How can you leave something when you don't have nothing?
Corey, do
I
you
don't
know
care
how
if it's
many
even
young
a mindset.
Corey, you know how many young Black Americans below the age of 30 purchase houses in the last? This is just in the last 10
And
years.
you know how many of them lose it?
Yeah, and they
Yes,
fucked
I
up
do
right
agree
now.
with that. I do agree
Your
with
insurance
that.
going high,
What's
your
the
interest rate.
point? The same way you bought it, you can lose it because you don't have the education to understand
There
I
you
wouldn't
go.
say it's the
property
education.
taxes that are due.
I
Problem
wouldn't say it's
solved.
the education, but don't act like we're not dealing with inflation right now.
Why? A lot
Yeah,
of
but
people,
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
a lot of people don't understand what it takes to own a home and to maintain a home because that's why they do debt cost ratio with a home. Can you afford to make repairs when things come so you don't have liens put on your home and somebody taking your home due to a lien or something like that? Like for real, or taking your money. This is a problem in our community. A lot of elders had homes. When they pass away, guess what? Their kids lose the home because they don't know how to pay the property taxes.
To me, being behind 400 year, they have 400 year head start. I think we do pretty good for that head start that they got.
Hell no, I think the Mexicans did way better.
Because they do it as a
I think
group.
that is a good point. And to that point, it's because they have a stronger
All right.
community. We have a very individualistic mindset. If one of us makes it, we might be happy for them, but we're
So
not
what you think
truly
this
happy
live?
for
What you
them.
think this
Nobody
live
started when
is
we
truly
started that.
about, though? What
No.
this live is? Hold on.
I
This
don't know what
live
you're
is
saying because
to
you're
hold on. This
yelling.
live is truly to destroy that individualized mindset. It's for y'all to like. I gotta spell it out. It's for us. Like shit. Everything that come out of my mouth is about for the community.
Yeah, but
No, no,
you
I
are the
think
change that you want to see. If you're a black person and you're adding to the pot and not taking away, you are making a change for your community. We all live somewhere. You feel what I'm saying? I'm adding to it. I'm not taking away from it. No
So
matter how you try to look at it. Now, if I was destroying my community, that's a whole different thing.
but the thing is, I think we're being too harsh on our community. When to me, when I raise somebody, we start on the same starting line. But if we don't start on the same starting line, I can't. Well, I mean, but how long the excuse is gonna last? Yes, but I can't judge us on with our with their head start, because nobody went through what we went through as a community.
Let me
And
ask
so,
Corey
And
this.
so
Corey,
then,
have you ever started
what
a
if you
business
end
with
up?
another person?
who, me?
Or black, or just another? Have you ever had like a business partner?
Worst thing you ever gonna do.
Have I ever had a business partner? No. But have I did? My mom, when she started her business, I ran it. I ran it.
Okay, but that's a major difference. Like, we ideally, everybody want to live in this utopia and act like black people just going to start businesses together. That's not really how that's gonna go down. But
We
I can
have
tell you this. So, like, I have a business, right? And I'm trying to build a cafe in this community. But before I even get there, there are already black businesses. I don't have to talk to them to realize I'm contributing to that. I'm adding to the pot. You feel what I'm saying? Even if I was it don't matter if I'm the first or the last. I'm still adding to that pot. That's still community building.
Okay, but still, even if you put your cafe in that strip, whatever the case may be, in that community, right? You build in that community. We still have to support our own first. Because our dollar go outside. It doesn't stay within our community. Do y'all not know how they keep their foot on our necks?
I know what you're saying.
I
Y'all
understand
better
that.
wake
That's
up.
something you have to talk to with business owners. And I always talk about that. Like, yes, you do have a lot of black people that support black businesses, but how many black business owners keep the money in the
what
community?
type of cafe you talking about? Coffee cafe?
No, like a basic menu, basically.
What?
Not a restaurant style, just like a pick up and go type of a small sitting space. You probably could fit anywhere from 40 to 30 to 40 people.
That's a restaurant.
Well, it's small to me. It's small to me as far as I'm concerned.
We
Talking about a quick turnaround, stop lunch style type situation.
Yeah,
with
ain't nothing
cafe-wise.
fancy.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing fancy.
we had a system in plant. We had a system. Now I say had. Now remember, I'm 40. That was back in the day. We had a system in plant. We was farmers. Well, in my family, we was farmers. I've been working since I've been 6 years old. Now, we was farmers, and we sharecropped, and we gave back, and we invested back. But now, what happened?
Yeah,
I can't pinpoint it. I can't point the finger at nobody because I don't fully understand it myself and who did what and where it initially went wrong at. That's the infrastructure that, as a black community, we need to. It would be great if we got back to that. Now, it starts with the mindset, yes, to what I want for myself, I want for my community. And I want to see my community thrive. And it starts with that positive mindset, that solution-oriented mindset, because it is what it is. It's already been stated. We point the fingers so much, and this person and that person. Well, okay, well, let's talk about right here, right now. And let's start with one person. And well, my daddy didn't finish. My daddy wanted to finish this and this and that, but he didn't finish it before he left this world. I'm going to finish it for him because you know what? It means something to me, and it's solution-oriented for my community. And you know what? Even if I get one step ahead versus 5 steps back, That's going forward.
That's legacy.
True.
You know,
That's
I sat here quiet because I wanted to listen to what each one of y'all had to say one by one. And when I sit here and listen to y'all one by one, y'all address every question that's on this panel as regards to if a black man